U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland. And we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay?
Trump promises oil companies total safety in Venezuela as he urges them to invest billions. Donald Trump promised oil giants total safety, total security in Venezuela in an effort to persuade them to invest $100 billion in the country's infrastructure after U.S. forces toppled Nicolás Maduro from power.
We've had a great meeting with the oil executives. We've sort of formed a deal. They're going to be going in with hundreds of billions of dollars and drilling oil, and it's good for Venezuela, and it's great for the United States. A lot of money is going to be made.
We're empowered to make that deal, and you have total safety, total security.
Envisions oil companies rebuilding Venezuela's energy infrastructure. Some executives say there are things that need to be addressed. The head of ExxonMobil says there has to be changes in the country's legal and commercial frameworks before they make a long-term investment.
At a roundtable press conference at the White House on Friday afternoon, with more than a dozen oil executives, including leaders from Chevron, ExxonMobil, and ConocoPhillips, the U.S. president doubled down on claims that Maduro's arrest presents American oil companies with an unprecedented opportunity for extraction. Many of the executives expressed support for the Trump administration's actions in Venezuela last weekend and hinted that they stood ready to invest. Analysts have expressed skepticism that oil firms will invest vast sums as rapidly as Trump has suggested they will. Earlier this week, the president suggested production in Venezuela could be boosted within 18 months. We're going to be extracting numbers in terms of oil like few people have seen, he said on Friday, emphasizing that the U.S. stands to benefit from lower energy prices. Venezuela is going to be very successful, and the people of the United States are going to be big beneficiaries. Notably, Trump said the investment would be coming from the oil companies, not the federal government. Earlier in the week, he had suggested that the U.S. taxpayer might fund their investments. The plan is for them to spend, meaning our giant oil companies will be spending at least $100 billion of their money, not the government's money, Trump said. This is CBNEWS. Subscribe to our channel for daily world news update. Stay tuned. Trump said, "They don't need government money, but they need government protection and government security." Trump warned the assembled executives that if they aren't interested in rebuilding efforts, I got 25 people that aren't here today that are willing to take your place. While he offered them total safety, the president also suggested some of the oil firms present did not need the U.S. government's help. These are people that drill oil in some pretty rough places, he said. I could say a couple of those places make Venezuela look like a picnic. In brief remarks, oil executives, for many the first public statements since Maduro's capture, expressed willingness to rebuild Venezuela's oil infrastructure with the U.S. government's reassurances. Chevron has been a part of Venezuela's past. We are certainly committed to its present, and we very much look forward as a proud American company to help it build a better future, said Mark Nelson, vice chair of Chevron, currently the only U.S. major that regularly exports Venezuelan oil. Nelson said the company currently had 3,000 employees across 4 different joint ventures in Venezuela, and that it had the capacity to increase our liftings from those joint ventures 100%, essentially, effective immediately. Darren Woods, Exxon's chief executive, said the company expected significant changes to Venezuela's legal and commercial landscapes in order for the company to reinvest in the country. Today, it's uninvestable, he said. We're confident that with this administration and President Trump working hand in hand with the Venezuelan government, that those changes can be put in place, Woods said. The ConocoPhillips CEO, Ryan Lance, echoed the cautious optimism, saying that there's an opportunity to be quick, fast and restore the quality of what's been lost in Venezuela over the last 25 years. Lance also noted that ConocoPhillips is Venezuela's largest non-sovereign credit holder, with the country holding $12 billion in debt to the company. Though Trump assured the company that it will get its money back, we're going to start with an even plate. We're not going to look at what people lost in the past, because that was their fault. That was a different president. We're going to make a lot of money, but we're not going to go back, he said. Venezuela's oil reserves are reputedly the world's largest. While the country's oil industry experienced a boom in the late 90s and early 2000s, the then Venezuelan president, Hugo Chavez, eventually reasserted state control over the industry in the mid-2000s. In the years since, oil production in the country has fallen drastically as its infrastructure aged and investment dried up. Though Maduro is being tried in U.S. federal court on narco-terrorism charges, Trump has been very enthusiastic about Venezuela opening back up to the American oil industry. On Wednesday, the White House said that it planned to control Venezuela's oil indefinitely, and that it would sell billions of dollars worth of recently seized crude oil. History from the last 2 decades has shown that foreign intervention can have an impact on a country's oil output, but with mixed and unstable results. Oil is experiencing a global surplus. Average U.S. gas prices are now about 25 cents lower than last year. CB News, bringing you World News Update. Thank you for watching.